Okay guys, welcome to Sunday morning. By the time you see this, it will probably be Sunday afternoon. Now, most of you would have seen a lot of interaction on our Facebook page, Instagram, regarding some certain check-ins to Grand Toyota Wangara in the last couple of days. Now, sorry if I've left you hanging on a little bit, but I needed to make sure everything was lined up, approved, ready to go with Grand Toyota before I let the cat out of the bag. I'm one of these people that likes to make sure all my ducks are lined up in a row before I let the information out there, just in case it all goes pear-shaped and doesn't quite work out. So basically, as of Friday afternoon, it was all signed, sealed, delivered and okayed, and pretty much I have signed up to take delivery of a brand new 2022 model Toyota Hilux SR5. Now, it's nebula blue, 6-speed auto, 2.8 litre turbo diesel. So, beautiful car. Didn't actually get to test drive an SR5, but did take the Rogue for a drive, which is basically exactly the same. Running gear, just different interior and different tub linings and all that sort of stuff. But apart from that, basically the same running gear. So, it won't be the standard, this is what it looks like new. It won't look like that by the time I get delivery of it, because I have, and this is why it's taken a bit of time, done a deal with Toyota to have it spec'd up with some ARB products. I'm not going to tell you too much about what it's going to look like, because if I have to wait 6 months, so do you. But I can tell you, I cannot wait. So that is what I haven't bought a Prado, haven't bought a Prius, haven't bought a 300. I think someone even said a Y62 at a Toyota dealer. Really? Mind you, they might have had a second-hand one there, but probably got a few. But that's a different story. So there you go, nebula blue SR5 Toyota Hilux 2022 model. And the beauty of ordering it now and having to wait 6 months for it is I get the 2022 model, which is an upgraded version of the 21. It comes with basically a location button on it. So if you are stranded out in the middle of nowhere, there's a button in it that is now in the 22, or will be in the 22 model, that you push. It sends a signal to Toyota that basically says this vehicle is stranded in this location, and they send you help. I think that's an excellent thing to have on board. Whether it's as good as a PLB or a sat phone, I don't know. I'll have a bit more look into it the closer it comes out. The other things it has upgraded is it has the dual climate control, which the 21 apparently doesn't have, and it also has the satellite navigation maps, which the 21 model does not have. So that is the good part about having to wait 6 months. The bad part is I have to wait 6 months, but never mind. Cannot wait to drive that thing, see what it looks like on the showroom floor, because it will be very, very different to this standard looking SR5 Hilux. But there you go, cat is now out of the bag. That is what I have purchased. So we'll just take a quick break and we'll come back and I'll discuss some other things, just in case that's all you were interested in hearing. But I'm going to tell you all about our tag-alongs and a few other things just in a minute. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back. All right, so after those few words from our advertisers on YouTube, a couple of things I need to talk to you about. What is going to happen with the Jeep? Well, this thing has taken me to some amazing places. It is an awesome vehicle and has been an awesome vehicle, but unfortunately it is starting to get a little bit old now, and I need something that is reliable, more fit for purpose, and is big enough, because as much as I love driving this Jeep, it does have its limitations. Its size inside, let me just wait for this plane to go over. Its size inside is very limited as to what you can put in the back. Literally I have to permanently have the back seats folded down to fit all the extra bits in that I want. It is a capable four-wheel drive, but there are far more capable four-wheel drives out there, and while this has taken me to some really good places and some interesting challenges, I think the Hilux will do just a little bit better. Actually, I think it'll do a lot better, but never mind. That's an argument for the Jeep and Toyota people, which apparently I am now both. But don't get me wrong, one of the most comfortablest vehicles I've ever owned and driven. It is a great vehicle. I just need to upgrade. It's as simple as that. And yeah, so what's going to happen to it, I am going to strip out all the touring modifications from inside of the vehicle, which will go into the Hilux. Unless, of course, there's some businesses out there that want to jump on board with the build, more than welcome to have a chat. But for now, the touring mods that I have on the inside of the Jeep will basically come out and go into the Hilux, and she will be cleaned up and sold as is with all the exterior mods. Now, I have done a lot of modifications and replacement parts to this vehicle. I've got a list this long of parts that I have replaced just in the last 12 months for this vehicle. So it will go up on Gumtree. We have a content creating trip next weekend, and then on the 30th, 31st we have our final tag along, of which after that she goes up for sale, and I will basically be without a four-wheel drive for 5 months. So I have to ask the wife if I can borrow the Subi for a couple of trips. So that is what's happening with the Jeep. Now, tag-alongs for next year. Excuse me. We have finalised our tag-alongs for next year. That is what we were doing yesterday. And they will go as follows. January 14 to 16, Fish Creek Jaegerup. We will redo the trip that we did at the beginning of last year, where we went down to the Fish Creek hut, came back out, down Calcup and out through the Jaegerup dune system. So we will repeat that same trip. Horrocks to Geraldton, March 5 to 7. It's a long weekend. We will basically redo the same trip that we did last year, the Horrocks to Geraldton, where we jump on the beach at Bowes River and we drive all the way through the tracks and the beach till we get to Drummond Cove and pop out without touching bitumen at Drummond Cove on the Monday morning. So that's the Horrocks trip. May 18 to 21, Woodline Holland Track. This is basically repeating the trip that we did late last year on our channel, where we drive to Kilgardy, sorry, not Kalgoorlie, head out south to a campgrounds out there where we pick up the Woodline track in the morning, do the Woodlines, come out, pick up the start of the Holland track on Queen Victoria Road, or Victoria Rock Road I should say, camp at the Thursday Rock campgrounds, and then we do most of the Holland track the next day, where we camp at Mount Holland, and then we do the last 40 k's out to Hyden the following morning. So that is May 18 to 21. And now this one, the big one, the final one for the year, October 19 to 22, Lake Jasper to Fish Creek. We are basically going to do the D'Entrecasteaux National Park from top to bottom, and we will recreate the trip that we did with James, Gary and Brad last year, where we started at Black Point, we went through to Lake Jasper, out, down to Jaegerups, through the dunes, down to the Warren, back out, up through Jaegerup Hill, out again, and then through the bush, cross the Warren to Calcup Hill, and then in the morning we get up, drive down Calcup Hill, turn left and head further east and pick up the Summertime track, come out of the Summertime track, back into the D'Entrecasteaux through the Gardner River, and we head down to Fish Creek. Now that is a 4-day trip, 3 nights, 4 days. Now with that one, we do stipulate that you must have a capable 4-wheel drive that can do some hard yards, including a snorkel, okay? You need to have a snorkel, you need to have some clearance, and you need to have some good off-road tyres, because there is some hard yards along the beach with that trip, and there will be 2 rivers to cross. So you will definitely need a snorkel for those, and a vehicle that's basically not going to blow a head gasket trying to drive along a very soft beach. We are limiting that one to 5 only, so if you want to get on board with that, book now. There'll be a few terms and conditions with next year's tag-alongs, because we have had some difficulties with people that book and then they disappear off the face of the earth without paying their deposit or anything, or even contacting us again. So basically, when you book, you need to pay your deposit straight away within 48 hours or you'll lose your booking. Don't want to be tough on that, but unfortunately we have to, because of the minority of people that have booked and then we've never heard from them again. So we're holding a position for someone who hasn't paid for it, which is not fair on anybody else who wants to go, and it's not fair on us. So that's the tag-alongs for next year. Now, unfortunately, I will not be able to go on the first two because I won't have a vehicle, but I will definitely be on the second two. Brad and Gary will look after the tag-alongs for the first two trips of the year. So that's the tag-along trips. Next, now this is something I've been toying with for a while, Patreon. Few YouTubers do it. I've balked at it until now, and I'll give you an idea, basically the cost of creating content for me alone. If we go on a 2-day content creating trip, I go down to Woolies and fill my fridge up with food and drinks, costs me $100. I fill the tank up, costs me $120. We go down, we do our filming and all of that, and to get back again, top the tank up again, another $80. So realistically, for me to go away and create content, just with fuel and food and drinks, $300. I assume the other two guys probably spend around about the same amount. So between the three of us, we're spending nearly $1,000 to go away for a weekend to create content, which is fantastic and has been, more than happy to do so up until now, but it's getting more expensive. So I am asking for your help. Patreon is a great way to raise funds and for you guys to get involved in the channel if you want to help out. Now, it will not affect the free content that goes onto YouTube. That will drop every fortnight, sometimes weekly, as we have always promised. It will not change. However, if you wish to help out, there will be a basic $5 level where you just get access to chat and us, and you'll basically be helping us out a little bit of money into our bank account to help us with our diesel and our running costs for these vehicles. As Andrew St. Pierre White says, buy me a cup of coffee once a month and we'll be more than happy. A second tier we'll put up will be $12 a month, where you will get access to exclusive content. So we'll do some behind the scenes videos and some bits that don't make it to the final cut. As I've said to you before, I get a lot of files of footage when we do content creating, and all of that stuff gets narrowed down to a 30-minute video. There's a lot of stuff left over that doesn't quite make it into the final cut. So we can put those sort of things up. We can do special videos. There will be exclusive content available for that tier. And the top tier will be $25, where you will get access to chat, access to exclusive content, sticker, and I'll throw in a t-shirt every 12 months. As long as you're with us for 12 months at that level, we'll chuck in a t-shirt as well. So that will be the 3 levels of Patreon. I'm toying with the idea of a 4th level. Now, I know Ronnie has Patreon and he has a top level of about $82.50 or something like that. Not sure what you get for that. There was a big long list on his. I don't remember. I did read it, but I don't remember. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we could go down those lines, but you could get all those other things, and as a bonus for that level, once a year, we would invite you out on a filmmaking trip with us. So you could be part of our channel and part of a content creation trip for that level of support. So let me know what you think, if you'd be interested in that. Of course, if we had too many people at that would be great, because the money would be fantastic. But we might have to have a like a big trip or something. I don't know. But you could come out on a day trip or a camping trip. The choice would be up to you. But that would be something I would toy around with further down the track to see. And interested if anybody would be keen to do that. So let me know what your thoughts are. But that is where we're going with Patreon. So please, if you want to support us, more than happy to have you on board, and we would really, really appreciate your help. So don't expect it to take off big, but as long as it's a little bit to help us towards keeping these things on the road and putting diesel in the tanks and putting a couple of beers in the fridge, that would be fantastic. So that's Patreon. And finally, content for the next 6 months. Basically, I will be without a vehicle for 5 months. Depending on when I sell that, but pretty much when we get back from our tag along, this gets stripped out. I won't be driving it. It will be going up for sale, and the next time it gets driven is when someone buys it and drives it out of my driveway. So I will have to sweet talk the wife, see if I can borrow the Subi for a couple of trips. We got some ideas, content. We have content in the bank after this next filming trip to take us up to January 26, I think. So that is the content we will have loaded, scheduled on YouTube, already made. That is why sometimes it takes a fair while when you see stuff posted on Instagram. It might be a month or two before that video actually comes out. That is why, because we have a lot of content banked up on YouTube, ready to drop, that's already there. So all we need to do is find 2 to 3 months worth of content, which I'm sure the wife will let me borrow the Subi. Won't you, babe? I won't scratch it much. No, I won't scratch it at all. Anyway, could do a couple of trips with the Subi, can do a couple of trips with the boys. If you've got any ideas we can do, more than happy to take your ideas and run with them and use them as our own, and we'll see what we can do for the 3 months where we don't have any content banked up and I don't have a vehicle. So more than happy to throw the esky and the swag in the back of the Subi and take off somewhere. It's a more than capable vehicle, and we'll see how that turns out. So that is basically it for this big news bulletin. The main thing was to let you know what vehicle I bought. Thank you to all those people that have joked around with the Prius and the Corollas and the Prados and the whatnots that you've been commenting on, and a special thank you to Rowan from Worms, who has come up with some fantastic thoughts on my Facebook page. Awesome, buddy. Yes, really opened some ideas up there you have, but never mind. There it is. 2022 Nebula Blue Toyota Hilux SR5, slightly modified. Cannot wait to drive that off the showroom floor. But of course, if I have to wait 6 months to see it, so do you. And on that note, guys, I just want to thank you very much for your support. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next adventure. Cheers, guys.